I've heard so much about MDARD and what a great organization, but probably the #1 thing that's impressed me so much is the quality of the people that work for MDARD. And the people of Michigan are so fortunate to have people like yourselves out there protecting their food, their human, animal health, and it shows every day. And just like this response for this exercise today, how important this is in case there is an emergency to make sure that our food and plants are protected. And the economic impact agriculture has in our state, over $100 billion a year. 805,000 people are employed in agriculture or food production in the state, making it one of the top economic drivers. And that's where your jobs are so important. If you weren't doing your job, there's consumers are going to get hurt, but also our industry could be devastated by it. What you're doing is so important.
Today is a remarkable day because it's actually focused on radiological preparedness. We have 3 nuclear plants in Michigan, and we're required to do tests to be assured that the state and local governments are able to respond in the unlikely event that anything happens.
We're taking samples of soil, milk, grass clippings, foliage, and water samples today. So the goal today is to practice. So when we do get into a situation where field staff are called out to do an emergency response, we want to make sure that we're prepared. And the more that we practice and commit these exercises to memory, the better we'll be when the action is actually needed in the field.
Sample team training is one of the opportunities that we have to bring everybody together, to let different divisions collaborate in the work that we do. And I think it helps us to understand the importance of that work that we're doing and that everybody has a piece of that.
Today we are actually practicing the ability to deal with a number of completely different things. Number one, we're sending out a few teams to go check for gas pump skimmers as a measure of consumer protection. We are also picking up samples of potentially contaminated pig ears, dog chew toys. Some of them have been found to be adulterated or contaminated with salmonella.
Get that, Rita? 10. The 100 count SKU is 10, 51, 45. That's our SKU.
All of our inspectors, whether they be in motor fuel quality, whether they be food and dairy, we have some who are from migrant housing. It's to give them opportunity to learn some of the sampling techniques, and then when we have big issues that come up where we might have to do some type of large-scale sampling exercise, they're at least familiar with equipment that would be used, with some of the sampling techniques, and then it's just a quick refresher training and get their eyes, once again onto what they need to do, and then they can be sent out to be able to actually pull some samples.
When I go to this type of training event, I see the other side of things. I see the field side of things, I see the lab, 3 p.m. I see, you just learn more about what we do.
So what I'm actually looking for is a credit card skimmer, and what the skimmer does is it collects credit card information from credit card and debit cards that are swiped through the card reader. So it collects that information, and without the customer knowing, it can't be seen from the outside of the pump. So that's why we require security on the pumps. So there's no skimmers in this pump.
What would a skimmer look like?
It's a homemade device that would be plugged in line with the card reader. So it would be plugged in between the card reader and the circuit board. And it definitely appears to be a non-factory device.
For many of us, we don't get to interact with people outside of our division except for at these large department-wide meetings, the all-employee meetings, which we don't have very frequently. So other than names that come across on emails, we don't often get to even meet people face to face. So this is a great opportunity not only to build relationships, but to learn what other people are doing, what it is that is important to them, and how we can, as professionals and even on a personal level, how to interact and work better and more efficiently as a department.